Hey everyone. Before we get started, make sure that you have done your AI assignment from last week. And the AI assignment was to do a little experiment in AI and post it in discussions on Brightspace. And an even better way of doing it. I mean, you could just play around and put something together and keep track of what prompts you'd use. But the best way of doing it would be to use it to add something to one of your existing campaigns or branding projects or videos or illustrations, anything like that, so that you establish the look of something and you get the AI to add to that. But anyway, try it out because we all need to get more familiar with AI, and that was the assignment last week. And if you have more questions about it, watch the video from last week. Good. I also want to emphasize your weekly output. Please make sure you have something to show me every week. That's the way you make your portfolio really, really good. And that's what you need in order to get a good job. Some of you have been doing this, some of you have not. And we're now in week 6, I think it is 5, 6, which is basically a third the way through the semester. And I don't have that much work from you. And it's all individual the way you do the work. So it's not like a big assignment for everyone to do with your projects. You are developing your own project as you go. But I need more. I just need more. And the thing is, you keep it up, you keep it up, you do it week after week. And by the time the end of the semester comes along, you're actually kind of relaxed because you've done all the hard work. All you're worrying about at that point is presenting your work to the portfolio review. So please pick it up because otherwise the end of the semester is going to be hell. I'm not going to let you forget that. Okay, good. So today we're talking about networking. And what I mean by networking is, everybody has a network. You have your family is part of your network, your friends, your classmates, people you meet on jobs. You know all these people. I'm talking about doing it proactively. So I'm going to go out and build my network in order to project myself into the New York design community, the international design community. But you start with New York because that's where you are. So very simply, you connect with all these people in a professional way. Now, your family is not necessarily a bunch of designers, but they know people who know people. And eventually you may come across somebody that already exists in your network who is a designer or has, a husband who works at an agency. And, this is how you hear stuff that could be to your benefit, but you have to tell them. So being proactive about your network is telling everybody, linking to them on LinkedIn, tell them I'm graduating from City Tech. I got a design degree. I got this experience. Put it out there. You're asking them to put it out to their networks. And this is crucial to your job hunt. So, like I said earlier in the semester, if you haven't done it yet, link to everyone in this class. Link to your friends at City Tech. When you go on LinkedIn, you can find other alumni from City Tech. And LinkedIn will probably feed them to you anyway. But you can again proactively find out who these people are and just link to them. You're all City Tech is a ready-made network, and City Tech people tend to support each other. So if you approach somebody and you say, I just linked to you on LinkedIn, I'm looking for a job, have you heard of anything? They might know something. If not, you could say, can I show you my portfolio? And can I get some feedback? Because people actually like that. They like to be approached and they like to help people out. And honestly, sometimes they just like to critique your work. But that's fine. That's fine. That's the way you get to know them. So with classmates, linking with classmates, you're all in the same boat, more or less. I mean, you're all about to graduate, and when they get jobs, they might hear of stuff to tell you. when you get a job, you might hear stuff to tell them. I mean, these things are reciprocal. On Facebook, if you remember, I've mentioned the Ask a City Tech grad Facebook page. You can join it, and there's a bunch of interviews with City Tech ComD people who got successfully into the industry. Now, some of these are a couple of years old, but that just means that they're farther along in their career than they were in the interview. So link to them. Say, I saw your video on Facebook. You look really interesting. Can you give me some feedback on my portfolio? And you're already linking with them and their network. They also emphasize a couple of them. Tim Locke, and who was the other one? I forget. Anyway, look up Tim Locke, L-O-K. He talks about how he got his first jobs through his best friend who was his classmate. This stuff works. And then I've spoken a bunch of times about the professional organizations, and they're on a list in Brightspace. And somebody told me that it hadn't been made available to you guys, but I fixed that now. So this is the One Club, the Art Directors Club, the Type Directors Club, the Society of Publication Designers, SIGGRAPH, the Illustration Society, AIGA. All of these organizations hold events. They have speakers, they present exhibitions. Each one of these events is an opportunity to network with the industry. For the professional organizations, when you join them now while you're a student, you get a nice fat discount. And now that you're finalizing your branding, which is your logo and the colors and fonts that you're using on all your promotional materials, you can print some business cards, which is the assignment this week, by the way. So you put a nice big logo on one side, then you put your contact information on the other side, and you put a QR code that goes to your portfolio. So you go to one of these events and you go hear a speaker or something, and you go chat to people and you have a drink and say, oh, I'm about to graduate from City Tech. I'm looking for work. Here's my card. Or could I come and talk to you? Or, can you look at my portfolio? Just chat to people. I mean, that's kind of what they're there for too, for meeting people. Also, if you like a girlfriend or boyfriend who happens to be a designer, that would be the place to meet them. But it's not a requirement. Okay, so Professor Garristiggy, who is the chairman of ComD, he used to be on the board of AIGA, and he would have some useful tips on how to use those organizations to your best advantage. So he's also the chairman of the department, and he's really busy. But I suspect that if you made an appointment with him, said, I just want to talk to you for 10 minutes, you could, work into his schedule and say, look, you were on the board of AIGA. How can I use this in a way that's going to be helpful to me? That, he may not be able to do it, but I bet he could. And he's a very nice guy, and he's really smart. So, I mean, if you can, join like 2 or 3 of these organizations and see which one you like the best. So when I lived in New York, at various different times, I belonged to AIGA, to the Art Directors Club, and then the Type Directors Club. And I think the Type Directors Club and the One Club have now joined together. I mean, they keep sort of separating and coming back together, and so you kind of end up being in a bunch of different ones. For me, the Type Directors Club was my favorite. I mean, I love typography and all that kind of artistic creativity. It's a little bit less hard sell. But it's up to you. I mean, it depends the area that you want to concentrate in, and also who's in charge. If there's nice people in charge, it kind of doesn't really matter. They're just nice people in the industry, people you want to hang out with, and see which place makes you feel the most welcome and has the most to offer for you. So when you join these organizations, they have events, and if you volunteer to help out running an event, you get in for free or you get a discount. Now, if you join the organization, you already get a discount. But if you volunteer, you're probably just going to be there for free. And that also makes you useful to them. Oh, I have this new volunteer coming along helping me out. and they will welcome you in faster because you're helping them out. So it's a good way to make a connection. And when you make a connection with all these people, you link to them on LinkedIn. Good. You can also network in a similar way on meetups. So basically, you always want to have your business card in your back pocket. The other big resource for networking is, of course, your professors, particularly professors you're friendly with. You can ask them about internship opportunities or job opportunities, or you can ask them for a reference, either for a job or an agency or for graduate school if you decide to go to graduate school. By the way, I'll probably talk about this more later in the semester. If you're going to go to graduate school, I would suggest that you work for a year or two. So you find your feet in the industry and you can judge whether a graduate degree is going to help you or not. That's just my 2 cents. However, if you want to go to graduate school and you need a reference, your professors can provide that for you. I've written loads of references over the years. If you're going to use a professor for a reference, it's polite to approach each professor individually. So I once got this group email from one student who sent this to me and 10 other professors. He said, I always got along with you as a professor. You know my work. Could you please write me a recommendation? So it's like, yeah, make a little bit of an effort, but kind of try and personalize it a bit. And also, we have so many students coming through our classrooms. Sometimes it's hard to remember which person is which person. So if you just say, I just got along with you, I get along with most students. So it's not exactly pinning it down to who you are. However, so professors don't get paid to do that stuff. It can take time, so it's polite, at the very least, to address people individually and to say thank you. Sometimes City Tech graduates can be out in the field for several years and be debating whether they should go to graduate school. And then they say, yes, I want to go to graduate school. And it turns out there are other City Tech grads at that graduate school. Sometimes there's a City Tech professor who's teaching at that graduate school. So if you keep in touch with the City Tech community, you know that this kind of stuff is going on. And that can actually be very useful for you because you can contact them. You can say, okay, what's happening at this graduate school? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my while? You can get it from the student's point of view and from the professor's point of view. Because graduate school is a big investment of time and energy and money. And if you're going to do the graduate school thing, you're going to probably have to take out a loan and pay it off over a bunch of years. Even the state schools and the city schools, they're way more expensive than City Tech. I went to graduate school way back when in the 80s, but it was cheap back then. And things have gone up a lot. And with the new administration in Washington, I think federal funds to universities is going to be cut. Graduate school can be really worth it, but you need to know what you're getting yourself into to make sure that that's the situation you want to find yourself in. These days, honestly, spend a lot of time learning AI, and I think you'll be ahead of the game. So another networking possibility are the ComD speakers. The department invites different speakers to give presentations every semester, like with Meet the Pros. All kinds of interesting people from big media companies like Google and Amazon and Microsoft, as well as small design studios and agencies. They've all come in the past, and some will come this semester. When you go to a departmental event, you listen to what they say. You ask questions when they're done. Afterwards, you go and say hello and connect with them on LinkedIn and then remind them who you are. It's another networking possibility. And in my experience, our visiting speakers are very generous with their time and communication. LinkedIn and Behance are a resource for recruiters themselves. Recruiters frequently go through online design portfolios and LinkedIn profiles to hire designers. As you update your resume, update your LinkedIn profile. It's a quick and easy way to get yourself on their radar. I've posted a list of keywords on Brightspace. And keywords are words that are relevant to the kind of search that the recruiters are going to do. Things like Adobe and, Cinema 4D and Figma and, the programs that This is what they're going to be searching for. It's SEO, search engine optimization. You put those keywords into your resume and into your LinkedIn profile, one way or the other, and they're much more likely to be able to find you. And I know a bunch of people who've been approached through LinkedIn and gotten interviews out of it. So make sure you have them in your profile, make sure you have them in your resume. 2 assignments: design a business card that uses your new branding, because you've been working on your logos for your resume and your cover letter. Now it's going to go onto your business card. Logo on one side, contact information, and QR code on the other. You have another essay to write. And this time it's not due next week. You can take a couple of weeks to figure it out. This time it's about a design event. So you describe the event and what you thought about it. 1 page, not complicated. The design event can be a City Tech speaker, or an event at a professional organization like the One Club, or at the Design Museum, or a talk at one of those, Apple stores. They have speakers coming to talk about software and stuff. Basically, you need to get out into New York and find out what's going on, because it's an amazing city for designers. And you're reporting back. Some of us were brought up in the boroughs, and we don't go to Manhattan very much. It's Manhattan and Dumbo, these places where the design agencies collect. You got to get out there. Got to go find out what's going on and see what they're saying for themselves. So you go and you meet people and you write up a 1-page essay. That's all it is. Most designers in the world don't have the advantage of being in New York. So you're here. This is you taking advantage of it. So you have till the end of what's the date? Yeah. End of March to complete that essay assignment. So do some research, find out something you are going to be interested, and connect with your classmates. I'm going to put you into groups for a couple of assignments. I'm going to post that on Brightface. And you can go to an event with your group. That's actually the most fun way of doing it. It's not possible for everybody in their complicated schedules, but if you can go to an event with your classmates, it'll be a lot more fun. Okay, good. Networking. Don't forget about it. Start doing it now. And I will talk to you on Sunday and Monday.